The Tusculum Pioneers were coming off a win against the Wingate Bulldogs, but they had got the #1 team in the conference, the best offense, and then followed that up with the second best offense in the league. Hello everyone, I'm Brian State and joined by Pioneer coach JT Burton. This is Pioneer Basketball with Coach Burton, a Pioneer basketball team that after the Wingate game, I think that we took a collective sigh of relief and thought, all right, we got that one, now let's move on. And then we look up and you've got the team that's won the most games in the country at Division II, ranked third in the country, and a team that has responded after a down year, still winning 20 games from a year ago. And we're talking about Lincoln Memorial University. Corvassier McCauley, Cameron Henry, Devin Whitfield. These are some guys that are really making a huge impact. They were there, except for Whitfield last year, but they have really improved, in LMU a really good basketball team.
A really, really good basketball team. I knew it. I mean, when you watch them on film, the film doesn't know justice because of the way they shoot the ball. The numbers don't lie, though. Yeah. I mean, they're shooting an astronomical number from the three-point line, from the field, from everywhere. Yeah. I mean, and our goal going into this game was to make them shoot tough twos and tough threes. We done that. They just made them.
Yeah, they did make them. Let's take a look at the highlights. Tusculum and Lincoln Memorial, and it doesn't lie. 2 30-12 runs in the contest, and really in the first half, you said they couldn't be stand-up shooters, and I don't think you allowed them to be stand-up shooters, but they still somehow moved to the right spot to make those stand-up shots.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things we try to do, as I said, to make them take tough twos and tough threes. But these guys are standing. They run about 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", same height. So they're interchangeable, and that's what makes them so unique. And they can shoot the ball, they can switch on defense, and they can cause you a lot of problems on both ends of the court, especially when they're shooting and making the threes.
You said, listen, we can't go through a dry spell. And Brandon got off to the really good start, and I thought that was a really good thing for this basketball team.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon makes us go. I mean, with him scoring, it kind of settle us in. We try to go inside out when you see Cameron King making a baseline move. But if them two guys are going, it helps us, helps the guards get settled in.
We're good in the paint, and I think that was had to be a point of emphasis. Try to go in there. I did think Rondi Hackett for LMU probably played pretty good. They brought Alex Dalling in for him. Couldn't really always take advantage of that. So I thought really Hackett did a really good job trying to at least keep you out of the paint as much as he could.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he did a really good job of fronting the post, kind of keeping the ball out of the post, and then defending the post once you got there. But Brandon had it going early, and he made some jump shots, so he was able to take it inside.
Into the second half, after building a 45-30 halftime lead, and again, it was just astronomical to see the way LMU was able to shoot it. Both teams scored 51 points in the second half. LMU misses just 7 shots in the second half. You did turn them over a little bit, and it was nice to see you kind of get a little bit physical and get that run led by really one of your diaper dandies in Keyston Brown.
Yeah, I mean, we knew he was going to make a run, but it's just that when you make that run, you got to stay consistent with these guys. You can't make a run and then let up, and that's what we've done, because if you make a run with them, they're not going to let up. And I think after that, we made a run. They went 5 for 8 after that. Yeah. I can't remember, but and then opened the lead right back up. So with the, we did a really good job of we learned some things about ourselves in this game, believe it or not, and scoring 51 points in a half was huge for us because we hadn't been shooting the ball well.
A 16-5 run in the second half for the Pioneers. They trailed by 23 points. All of a sudden, they're back into it. And I believe this is actually one of the shots where you started to believe with Trenton Gibson, who's starting to play really good, back to his potential that he had and showed us last year, hitting that little 15-foot pull-up jumper.
Yeah, Trent has done a really good job of playing within himself here lately, watching a lot of film, getting some extra film time with the coaches. And with that, he's seen himself, get back to his old. And as you've seen Dylan Smith hit the 3, we executed, we was back on the roll, but then we went on a drought then, and they went on their scoring spree, and that don't match.
Yeah, they went 5 of the next 8, as Coach talked about. After the Pioneers go on the 16-5 run, all of a sudden LMU gave themselves a little breathing room once again. They hit 20 of 27 shots in the second half. And I think of the 20 shots that they even made in that second half, I would say a good 12, 13 of them were contested shots. Just shows you the strength. They were finishing in the paint. We were getting a little bit razzled, a little bit in our full court press. So they were finishing. But I've not seen the team run, I think, with the sense of urgency that they did in the second half, and then finish with the ease that they finished with.
That's what makes them so good, because they don't get rattled, they don't get sped up. I mean, they turn the ball over a couple of times, but one thing they do, they're very good in the half court. Yep. They're very good, because what they do is ISO you one-on-one, because they're so big and they're so interchangeable.
It was a Pioneer team that allowed 96 points, and I only bring that up because It's only happened one other time. Queen scored 97 last year in his career. It's not very often that you see a team give up 90. It was the game that was billed top offense in the conference, top defense in the conference, and a LMU team that just shot lights out, win the game 96-81. It was 80s night, so proud of you to get to 81 for that particular. So the Pioneers then would drop the 5 of that to that. After they had dropped their 4 straight, they get the win against Wingate. Then they fall to LMU, and then they get a team that was nationally ranked just 2 weeks ago, but have gone on a free fall since, and they've dropped 4 straight, and that's the Catawba Indians, and we're traveling to Salisbury. We didn't play great against them, a 4-point loss back all the way on November 30th, and it felt like that if we could go in there and just score the way we had against LMU, things would be good. We had 2 possessions, and I think made a total difference in the entire game. And it's funny about college basketball, those 2 possessions cost us a game in a way. I'm not talking about a bad call or anything, just maybe a rush shot. Maybe it was just a missed layup, one of those things, and Catawba gets the victory on the road. But I still very proud of the team, the way they come out and handle their business, especially very early.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we knew it was going to be a dogfight because you keep coming in these places, man, they are going and they lost 4 in a row, and you got to be the team to try to make it 5 in a row, and it's hard because they got a history, and like I said, they got some older guys that's been there for a while. So, but we did a really good job of settling in and then trying to score the ball. I think this game we didn't defend well though.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back. I mean, we scored the ball, but we didn't defend well. So we just got to put 2 and 2 together.
It was a good start for the Pioneers. Matter of fact, led at 20-7 at one point, but then it was the run that Catawba went on, and I think there was about a 4.5-minute stretch. And I think it all started just based on potentially just one of those carefree turnovers, just where we didn't really value the basketball and turn it over. And then Devin Cooper hit a 3, and he was allowed to get going. He's a really good shooter. He had 4 3-pointers in the first half, and Catawba goes on the 22-3 run and really took control of the game, and it was just an uphill battle the rest of the way.
Yes, I mean, because you let a guy like that get going, and every one of his shots, you go back and look at the film, was contested.
Yeah.
It's just that the kid has been there before, and he's been in that moment, and he was ready for the moment. And we didn't turn the ball over as much as we did. We had 12 turnovers, and I think with 11 assists. But like you said, it's at costly times. When you turn that ball over, it'll turn in from you can be down 4 to down 7. And I think that's what hurt us. But we kept fighting, and Brandon got in foul trouble. I think it hurt us as well.
And just little things, like I said, just somebody missing some time. Cam King got in foul trouble, a lot of fouls. The foul line was a big difference. Pioneers 6 of 10 from the free throw line, and Catawba 23 of 34 from the free throw. A little difference, and that's even counting the 10 times you sent them to the line in the last minute. That was a little bit of difference. So it was a very physical game. It was very difficult, I think, for me. Admittedly, had to struggle broadcasting because I was trying to figure out how is the game actually being called. 5 offensive fouls, illegal screens, and I said, I know we're not teaching them to do that. That's not the way we're teaching them to do it. So I felt like that was very frustrating. But all of that in the bright spot, I did feel as if, here we are scoring the basketball. You did get the consistency you needed, but I think defensively, you didn't get what you needed out of your team.
And the reason why is because Brandon Mitchell. I told we looked at the rebound, we got out rebounded big on the boards, but Brandon he's a catalyst of our team. I mean, he makes us go as far as rebounding, scoring. I mean, he settled us in. I mean, if he doesn't get the rebounds, gets his hands on a lot of balls. So, and Brandon got in foul trouble in him and Cameron King. Yeah. So when we had to play small, we had to play Joshua Scott at the 5, and he's 6'3", 6'4". But I mean, we hung in there, we fought back, and it was unfortunate that they made free throws coming down the stretch.
And I apologize to Catawba. You didn't go 23 of 34. Forbid. 29 of 34 is what you did at the free throw. They were a whole lot better than I gave them credit for. I did feel Josh Scott did play very well. Of course, he opens the game, impressively, hit his first 3 threes in the contest. Really did look as if we were taking off from there. They did a nice job really defending him. They kind of got rough with him, a little physical, and they put McLeod on him, and he seems to be a very active player. And I think when Josh was in there, he wasn't rattled, it's just he didn't have the same looks.
One thing, they put height. I mean, you got a 6'7" guy, but one thing they started to do is trapping the ball screen as well and making a scramble. And I have to do a better job of putting us in better situations, getting them prepared for that. And these guys was kind of rattle with with some turnovers or forcing some shots like you just said, and that was a good job by them though. Catawba had a great game plan and they lived by it and they stuck with it.
And Devin Cooper again was very good. I thought he did a good job with Haskett, made things very difficult for him. However, he got to the free throw line. He was able to make some free throws down the stretch. Felt like he did a good job against Lilly as well, and because he's a guy that's very physical, and I worry about that just a little bit in that matchup. But the defending tournament champions ended their 4-game losing skid as they get the victory against the Pioneers. You'll figure out, you'll solve them. You're 0-4 against Catawba. Maybe you see them later down the road as the Pioneers fall there. Go 0-2 for the week, and unfortunately, as we go to the second half of the conference season, things don't get a whole lot easier for the Pioneers. If there wasn't LMU in the league, LR would be the hottest team in the league. That's who the Pioneers get next, and then return home against Newberry. And we'll talk about that when we come back after this. This is Pioneer Basketball with Pioneer coach JT Burton.
Family.
Food's here!
What's it mean to you?
We got lunch.
To us, it means the people you care about, look out for, and yeah, love. Even if you'd never let them hear you say it.
Hey, you're eating hummus?
What's wrong with hummus?
Here at Ingalls, we have everything you need to gather around the table and give each other a hard time. Because that's what families do. Ingalls. All the ingredients for family.
Get clearance prices on new.
Back into Pioneer Basketball with Coach JT Burton, Brian Staten with the coach, and the Pioneers embark on another week of South Atlantic Conference basketball. And I think what I like about it is that things change, landscapes change just a little bit, and the way the Lenore Bears are now playing is totally different from the way Coach Sullivan saw them playing early. He's made just a slight difference, and Darius Simmons has responded. He goes up for 30 points last game against the red-hot Queens Royals, who found themselves back into the top 25, get an 82-80 win against Queens at home on their home court, and R.J. Gunn threw in 21 points as well. And congratulations, you get the Bears in front of the Shuford Psychos, and the place will be jumping. And but I really like the way these two teams match up. Feel as if these two teams are very similar.
Yes, they are. Very guard oriented, but I mean they shoot the three at a high volume. Coach Sullivan has done a really good job of being patient with this team, as I knew he would. And those guys have turned the corner at the right time. They're hot, and nobody cares about us losing our last 5 out of 6 games. I mean, we got to go in there. We got to be ready, and it's my job to get them there.
And a Pioneer team then that will get a chance to host Newberry. And for those of you new to the program, Jason Taylor was the longtime coach at Anderson and probably was the best coach in our league, just the way he was able to manipulate the other team's strength. And I think he's starting to figure that out at Newberry. Once again, another one of the hottest teams in the league. Angelo Sales Jr. will come in here. Physical game when we went down there, and I think Coach Taylor's starting to figure out his team just a little bit and working to their strengths. Yeah,
I mean, you get a new coach. I was in that situation last year. You start off kind of slow, and then you get those guys to get to believe, and they win a few games that you ain't supposed to, and they'll get some hope, and they get together. And that's what Coach Taylor's done. I mean, those guys they're really good. They are really good. They run his offense to a T. They don't make too many mistakes, and they started to make shots, and that's what's happened. I mean, guys is kind of now finally buying into a system.
Pioneers, again, another very big week. See if they can't get back to their winning ways as well. Wednesday night in Hickory, North Carolina, on the Pioneer Sports Network radio side of things. You can listen through the Tusculum website. Just go to the men's basketball schedule page and click Listen Live, and it'll be us. You can watch the game as well through the Lenore Rhines website. Do a pretty decent job with their TV coverage if you prefer to watch the game instead of listen, because I promise you Saturday you would have wanted to listen to me. It was really good entertainment. I can about promise you that. Pioneers and the Lenore Bears Wednesday night, tip off around 7:30. Saturday at home, February 1st, Super Bowl weekend. Come on out Saturday, Super Bowl Sunday, and the Pioneers will take on the Newberry Wolves. Tip off around 4 o'clock on Saturday. For everyone behind the scenes here for the Pioneer Sports Network, thanks to Zach Hartle, Dom Donnelly, Jessica Biggers, along with Jim Miller, Nick Forsberg. He's Pioneer coach JT Burton. I'm Brian Staten. Till next week, go Pioneers.